This LoreHound.com video is brought to you by...
Number 1, read the line.
You will behold the glory of my sacred wood.
That's not him.
Okay. Number 2, read the line.
You will behold the glory of my sacred wood.
Absolutely not.
Okay. Number 3.
You will behold the glory of my sacred wood.
That's him.
Every year, 1 in 5 gamers is accosted by an elf. We're tired of elves.
What's up, gamers? Lorehound here. We're in the Gazillion meeting room. We're now with the Amazing Society's Jason, who's the director.
Studio manager and co-founder.
Studio manager and co-founder. We're checking out Pixie Stixie's game of choice, which is the Marvel Superhero Squad Online. I got that right?
That's right.
Yeah, it's a mouthful, and it's late on day 3 of E3, so give me credit. I mean, we see behind us the QT. We're outside the Daily Bugle, Spider-Man's locale. How are you getting all these characters together and letting us play them?
Oh, it's great. What this is really kind of an amalgamation of the entire Marvel Universe down into one version of it called Superhero Squad, which really brings together all the different storylines, all the different classic heroes and villains, and kind of puts it in more of a all-ages friendly approach, but still classic powers, classic heroic heroes that are also fun and funny to play. So we kind of bring it all together.
It's because it seems like it'd be very cheeky humor. I mean, we have these superheroes that do these ridiculous powers normally, and they're all like pint-sized and cute, and I mean, just look at his guns. They look like Legos almost.
Oh yeah, well check out how we do War Machine here. So War Machine kind of, he's known for having all these guns, just totally excessive firepower. So we have him blow up some pineapples. Gonna laugh. Go ahead and show power up. Bang. Of course, when he gets out all his weapons, zoom right in on that. So anyway, we want to have fun with these characters because really it's about being entertained, right? And most of the time when we play games, the stories we tell are the times we had fun, the times it was funny, something really unexpected happened. And that's what we really want with these heroes. Is these are heroes that are fun to play, so you get to actually be War Machine, you get to be Iron Man, the Hulk, and all the different variants of all these heroes too. Ultimate Spider-Man, Iron Man, Hulkbuster armor, so you really get to take and collect all of these heroes into your squad. So it's about collecting these heroes and who you're going to have in your squad.
So we can actually recruit, or in some fashion, like as a player, we can be like every single one of these?
Yeah, we hope to go on and have thousands and thousands of characters that we get to draw from the entire Marvel Universe. We're going to have dozens and dozens of them by the time we launch, and we'll be adding more all the time.
So how do we get them on our team?
Basically, you'll earn these. We're not talking about the business model yet, but there'll be a variety of ways for you to get the heroes that you want, from classics that everyone knows all the way to the real rare and obscure heroes that only the hardcore fans really love and know.
So a lot of people look at this and they just kind of assume it's for the tween, like younger market, but from what I can tell, there's actually more to it. You guys are just using the art style to kind of promote the fun nature. We have Spider-Man jumping around in the background of, what we saw with Iron Man and stuff like that. What kind of depth is there gameplay-wise that would be more attuned to someone who's MMO experienced?
Well, you got to think, all of us who are making this game have worked on a lot of different MMOs. We're pretty hardcore players ourselves. At the same time, as we've aged, now we've got kids. The first generation of gamers, if you started playing Ultima Online, that was how many years ago? 13, 14 years ago? So if you had a kid a couple years later, you've got a kid that you're really ready to play with in an MMO, right?
Ready to indoctrinate them.
Exactly, right? Get them hooked, right? So I've got my kids now. I've got a 7- and 8-year-old boy. I've got a 15-year-old girl. She plays MMOs all the time, every day. My kids play online virtual worlds. That's really their number one choice for entertainment. And so now I've got a way to share my love of Captain America with my boys, or have my daughter, 15-year-old daughter, play Miss Marvel instead of Blood Elf and WoW.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Absolutely.
What do we have as far as group content? What are these guys going to be doing? These random teams that we get together.
Well, we've got a variety of modes of play, from solo to cooperative to competitive modes of play. So really want to have something for everyone. So in the younger part of our audience who are just coming in and starting MMOs for the first time, a lot of them don't really want to be in competitive mode. So we have absolutely let them play solo. At the same time, as they get a little bit older, they get more comfortable with cooperative modes. And so you can join in a 4-player combat, take on some of the classic villains from the Marvel Universe, whether it's Green Goblin, Super Skrull, Doc Ock, Doctor Doom, and many, many, many more. So from here, why don't we jump into combat, and you'll see how the action goes. It's really kind of a more console-like action title in the sense that you're not clicking on your standard MMORPG action bar at the bottom and waiting for timers to go off. You're really actually attacking who you want, moving around, dodging attacks in a real action-packed
So
way.
it's more like your classic beat 'em up, like the old school Marvel arcade game that was like 6 screens or what?
Absolutely. You think of Golden Axe, you think of Diablo, think of all these classic action games that we've really drawn inspiration from. And now you get to be these heroes and kind of come in and really kick butt.
Awesome. Let's take a look.
So here's War Machine. We're going to jump in and probably take on the Green Goblin. I think that's your favorite, right? Yeah.
Little developer hack, I assume.
Yep. So we'll jump right in, face the Green Goblin. He's going to come right in. He uses classic attacks, throwing exploding pumpkins and everything. So War
Now,
Machine,
would this be more difficult if there were more people with him, or is this, say, like a solo mission?
well, no, this will scale based on how many players are coming into play. So basically, if you take him on solo, it'll still be very challenging, but you're going to work a little bit differently if you've got a couple of different types of heroes. So if you bring Wolverine as a friend in to play with you, or the Hulk, or any others, you're going to play the tactics a little bit differently. And these are kind of classic boss fights in kind of the way we've grown up playing them. So the different tactics that work out. You get to level up these heroes and choose the way that they bring in their combat loads. So War Machine's got some special different kinds of attacks. You get to choose based on who you're going with, what you might want him to be like, more of a distance fighter, or maybe you want to have him do a lot of area effect damage. So some of the classic strategies you're familiar with from MMORPGs or action titles, you're going to see kind of a mix and a blend between those.
So we're looking at the combat here, and I mean, I don't see anything on the HUD that he's clicking or anything like that. So how is he actually using the different spells?
We wanted to make this very simple and easy and approachable, but yet at the same time offer a rich set of customization for combat. So actually everything's driven by the mouse, a series of left and right click combinations that let you kind of choose how you want that action to play out. You can kind of come in and not really know much, just click fest like a typical Diablo action fest or something, have fun, but at the same time, if you've got some strategy to it, you know how the combinations work. You're going to time and tactics for moving around, dodging things on screen. It's kind of not deterministic like most MMORPGs. It's a lot more based on you dodging and choosing to move out of the way of the attacks, and then choosing when to launch your
Respond in turn.
Yeah, exactly, and when to launch your special combos and hero up. So as you deliver damage, you're going to get a better rating. The faster you get through the mission, the less damage you take, and the more damage you deliver. And that's going to determine how awesome a loot you get at the end of the missions.
How long are we expecting these kind of missions to be?
We really want this to be more bite-sized entertainment. You know, time has passed when I had the time to do a 2-hour raid.
Yeah.
So these are more like 5 to 15-minute missions. So you can-
There we go, the victory dance.
Yep. So here at the end, after he's taken Green Goblin down, that's when he's going to get his loot. As he plays through a couple of stages of the missions, we don't want to interrupt those with giving you the loot and trying to divide it up and roll random who gets what. We want that to actually be a social experience. So you get tickets that you then cash in back in the game world, and everybody gets to see when you get that cool, random, uber rare loot. Everyone gets to see that.
Get all the messages of grats when you equip that bad boy.
Absolutely, because it's really fun to see somebody get something cool. So that really spurs you on to try one of those missions and say, wow, how did you get that cool Green Goblin thing, right? So that's kind of what we want to encourage.
So you mentioned there was some PV, well, not, you didn't say PvP, but competitive.
There will be competitive PvP. So we're not talking about how we're doing that yet, because we will reveal that at a later date. Stay tuned, folks. Come out to San Diego Comic-Con, Penny Arcade Expo, some of the other events throughout the summer, and we'll gradually reveal more and more of the modes of play. What you're seeing today is the social game world. It acts as the hub for launching into all these different modes of play. But as I said, we really want to concentrate on enabling different parts of our demographic. The Marvel audience is huge, from young kids to hardcore fans to old guys like me who started collecting Captain America back in the 70s. Where's my cane? 15-cent comics. Boy, I wish they were still that 15 cents.
Yeah, really.
But we really want to appeal to a lot of different fans. Don't look at the art style as saying that this is kids only. Look at this as an art style that says this is a fun game, right? It's not so over-the-top serious.
It's not a spreadsheet.
Yeah, exactly, right? So it's a lot of action, a lot of fun. You customize your squad through collecting all these heroes, and you will have a chance to fight and play PvP as well, but we'll reveal more of that later.
Well, one last thing though, what's to stop people from like having 2 Wolverines in a group? Is it just not allowed?
Much like a Lego Star Wars approach, once I've selected Wolverine Classic, you can't choose to be Wolverine Classic when we go into combat. However, we've got lots of different variations of the primary heroes. So let's say you've got Iron Man Mark V, and I've got Iron Man Hulkbuster. Well, we look pretty differently, we act pretty differently. As Hulkbuster armor with Iron Man, I'm in there more of as a melee fighter, taking a lot more damage, tanking. Whereas Iron Man Mark V has got his repulsor beams and chest beam, so he's acting more as a distance fighter. So you and I could both be Iron Man, but we're very different.
Very different kind of specs almost.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any window for release yet?
Yeah, right now we're telling folks early 2011, so early next year, and the beta will be sometime at the end of this year.
And it is going to be subscription based.
Well, we're not revealing the model for the business model yet, but make sure you understand this is playable in a browser, so that means Mac fans, you got a game you can play too.
Thanks a lot. Thanks so much.
Thank you.